starting out with primer as usual, and I'm using the Bare Minerals Prime Time in the neutralising shade and just using my fingers to apply this to my face. Then for foundation, I'm mixing two different foundations together. I'm mixing Too Faced Born This Way with Cover FX Custom Cover Drops, and I'm just putting those on my skin using a damp beauty blender. I'm then going in with this darker concealer by Morphe, and I'm just dotting it underneath my cheekbones, around my hairline and my temples, and then some down my nose and underneath my bottom lip. And this is just to help do a little bit of a cream contour, and I'm just blending it out using the same beauty blender. I actually really like the way this concealer worked, so I would highly recommend it. It gave me a really nice subtle contour. Moving on to the eyes, I'm priming using MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I'm just using a Sigma Bake Kabuki like mini brush to apply this, and then I'm going ahead and applying some tape to the corners of my eyes, and then taking Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie as my transition shade. So I'm just buffing this all along the crease and right into the inner corner. Then I'm going in with the shade Frappe, I believe it is, and I'm just buffing this into the outer corner, really focusing it along the line of the tape and then bringing it in along to the sort of middle of the eye. The next shade I'm taking is Makeup Geek Americano, which is a darker brown, and I'm just building this up in the outer corner as well. I'm using a MAC 217 for this because it's more precise. And I'm just really focusing it on the outer corner and then blending it in towards the crease. Then going in with Corrupt, which is a matte black shade. I'm using a Sigma pencil brush, and I'm just starting by going along my upper lash line and then slowly bringing it in to the outer V to make like literally a V kind of shape, but I'm filling it in, if that makes any sense. So I just built it up a little bit, and then I decided to bring it in towards the crease just a little bit, as you can see I'm doing now. Then I'm taking this shade, I think it's called Envy. I have no idea actually, I'm going to just link it down below, but it's also by Makeup Geek. I just used some Fix Plus on my brush to make sure it stood out, and I applied this all over the lid because I wanted a nice dark base for the glitter to go on top of. So I'm just blending out those edges using the 217, and then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more warmth, so I took the shade Cocoa Bear, which is a nice deepish warm brown shade, and I just used a more precise kind of blending brush. It's quite stiff to buff this right into the crease. Then I'm going in with some glitter and some glitter adhesive. I'll have what they are linked down below. And I'm just using a flat brush to apply the glitter glue first and let it go a little bit tacky, and then I held up a tissue because I'd already done my foundation. I didn't want any glitter fallout, and I'm just packing on that glitter, which is absolutely amazing. I really like this glitter. Then I'm just using the blending brush I used to apply Cocoa Bear again and blending those edges. And then I'm just taking more of the shade Corrupt and just building up in the outer corner because I had blended quite a bit of that pigment away. Then I'm going in with a black liner. This is my Rimmel Scandaleyes one. It's the one I always use. I'm just tight lining and then doing a messy line along my upper lash line. Then I'm just applying a coat of mascara and using some falsies. Moving back onto the face, I'm going to conceal the under eyes and the center of my face using the Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer in Light. So I'm just using this with my beauty blender again, and I love this concealer. It's such good coverage for a drugstore concealer. So I'm just applying it all down the center of my face as well to highlight and just conceal any red areas. Merry Christmas. I'm going to set all of those areas using my Inglot shade think this one's 503. It'll be linked down below, but I'm just pressing this into all those areas where I've concealed. Then I'm using the contour shade, and I believe this is 505. Again, they'll all be listed down below. I'm just using this Sigma brush to carve out my cheekbones and then pop some around my hairline and my temples. And then going in with the bronzer shade that I've got just to warm up my complexion. So I'm using this on an XO Beauty bronzer brush, which is actually a really good brush. I highly recommend it. And then I'm taking this Tarte palette. It's a blush and highlighter palette. I'll have the name of the blush listed down below, but I'm just applying this to the apples of my cheeks and blending it backwards. And then I just used my damp beauty blender once again just to blend out the edges of everything I've applied. And then I'm taking this highlight shade from my Inglot palette that I've made as well, and I'm just using a fan brush to fan this over my cheekbones and all down the center of my face. And this highlight came out beautifully. I absolutely adore it. Then moving back onto the eyes, I'm taking Frappe once again and just buffing this all underneath the lower lash line. And then I'm doing the same thing but using Cocoa Bear, which is a little bit darker, and using a 217 brush, which is a little bit denser. Then I'm using Corrupt once again on the pencil brush and just really smoking out my lower lash line, but I'm making sure to keep it pretty close into the lashes. And then once again just taking this green shimmery shade and using that on the lower lash line to tie in the green down there. Then I just highlighted the inner corners using MAC Nylon eyeshadow just to make them pop. And I applied some gold liner to my waterline just to add in to the Christmas kind of look. And then I just applied some lower lash mascara. And for my first lip option, which is actually my favorite, it's the red lip. I'm using this Tarte lip liner and outlining my entire lips with this. And then I'm going to go in with this Tarte Tartist lip paint, and it's an absolutely gorgeous color. I adore this for a Christmas red. And I'm just going to fill in my entire lips. They are minis because they came in a Christmas set that I purchased. But I believe you'd be able to buy the full sizes separately. And that's how the red lip looks with the look. I really love this, even though it's super bold. But I decided to do a nude option for you guys as well. So this is the nude lip. I'm using a Rimmel lip liner. I think it's just in the shade nude, but it will be linked down below. And then I'm filling them in with this Rimmel Kate Moss nude lipstick in, I believe, shade 43. And that is how the nude lip looks, which I also think looks really pretty, but I do like the red lip for Christmas. So that completes this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.